So, before I disclose this story, I want to clarify that this is not how you should address women in any scenario. This is just an event that happened one day in the 90s, and it's a great example of how teenage boys in the 90s used to speak to each other. So this event took place during form period in senior school. Form period is a half-hour period once a week that you spend with your form and your form tutor. You're supposed to use this time to discuss study techniques and engage with your form tutor, but most students typically use this period to chat, waste time, and have fun. So in this particular form period, I was sitting with Ewan, a somewhat uncouth individual from the north of England, and Rich, a chap from Kent in the southeast of England who thought he was the original Cockney from London. So we were all shooting the breeze when Katy, a nice-looking girl who'd recently moved to our school, walked into the room. Upon seeing Katy, Ewan was quick to note, "She's such a bitch." Sensing Ewan's disdain for Katy, I inquired, "Ewan, why are you so mean to her?" To which Ewan advised, "Because she just ignores me." So I responded with, "Well, that's not surprising with your chat-up lines." Then, of course, Rich chimed in with a timely, "Haha, yeah, it's like, or Katy, shash your tits, way." Of course, everyone laughed heartily. So in those days, the late 90s, there were no smartphones. In fact, most students didn't have a phone at all. So if you wanted to relay a humorous anecdote to someone else, it required a bit of impromptu theatre. Given that this was a significant event in my otherwise dull school day, and having a younger teenage brother, I felt this story needed to be shared offline. Well, that was the only way you could share things in those days. The venue I chose for this presentation of impromptu theatre that evening was our living room. Now, we lived in an open-plan Dutch house. Thus, the living room was connected to the dining room, which was also connected to the kitchen. And unfortunately, at this particular time, my Irish mother, with a highly attuned sense of hearing for anything immoral, was in the kitchen preparing dinner. So I kick off my performance with, "Aidan, it was so funny at school today in form period. I was sitting with Ewan and Rich, and then Katy walks in, and then Ewan calls her a bitch. So I said to him, 'Why are you so mean to her?' And he said it's because she just ignores him. So I say, 'Oh, that's not surprising with your chat-up lines.' And then Rich said, 'Oh, yeah, it's like, or Katy, shash your tits, way.' Now, before I could even finish my performance or my brother could start laughing, a stern voice was heard from the kitchen. It was my mother, and she said, 'Matthew, don't you ever speak to a girl like that.' Of course, I protested and said it wasn't me, it was Ewan, but she didn't seem to care who it was. Meanwhile, my brother Aidan was slowly turning purple, trying not to laugh, which made it even funnier. I don't think I got in that much trouble for my impromptu performance, but I probably got in some trouble. And to this day, my brother and I continue to shout, "Oi, Katy!" at random family get-togethers now and then. The end.